This is a sample of Laud, O Zion. It's a sequence for Corpus Christi, and it's an excerpt. We're going to be providing one sample from each section just so you can get a sense of how it sounds and how it flows.
Ecce panis angelorum,
Ecce panis angelorum.
Laud, O Zion, your salvation, laud with hymns of exaltation. Christ your King and Shepherd true, bring him all the praise you know. He is more than you bestow, never can you reach his due.
Special theme for glad thanksgiving is the quickening and the living bread today before you set.
That's verse 1, 2, and 3.
That's a sample of verse 1, 2, and 3. Now we're going to move on to the next little section, which is verse 4 and 5. We're just going to do verse 4 for you right now.
And his rule for guidance taking, bread and wine we hollow making, thus our sacrifice of praise. This the truth which each Christian learns, bread into his flesh he turns, to his precious blood the wine.
Sight has failed, no thought conceives, but a dauntless faith believes, resting on a power divine. So verses 1, 2, and 3, and 4 and 5 all sound very much the same. And we have structured them to start with one voice and end with another to simplify. Now we're going to look at verse 6. I think it follows the same pattern as well, but we'll just hear it out.
Thousands are as one receivers, one has thousands of believers, eats of him who cannot waste. Bad and good the feast are sharing, of what divers dooms preparing, endless death or endless life.
Life to these, those damnation, see how like participation is with unlike issues rife. So now, again, that follows the same structure as all the previous verses, and you could hear how you would need minimal accompaniment to achieve this. We're going to move on to number 7 and 8. These are very much shortened, and we've assigned one voice to one and one voice to the other, and it's a little bit different, so here's how it goes.
When the sacrament is broken, doubt not but believe 'tis spoken, that each severed outward token doth the very whole contain. And there's a refrain between each one of these. I don't know if we mentioned that.
Oh, yes, I'm sorry. So between each of these verses, you would go back to that first refrain that we sung at the beginning. So between each verse is the refrain. You don't go straight through from one to the other. Okay, let's look at verse 8. Cardian's going to provide some accompaniment with that for me so I can read it through a little bit better. Go ahead. Truth the ancient times fulfilling, Isaac bound a victim willing, Paschal lamb its lifeblood spilling, manna to the Father sent. Now after that, number 8, we go to the final refrain, and that's right there on the bottom. Go ahead, and Cardian's going to sing that and play that.
Ecce panis angelorum, amen, alleluia.
And that marks the end of this entire arrangement. Again, we start with that refrain that was at the beginning. We pop it in between each verse, and then the final refrain is immediately after the 8th verse, and that's how it ends. It is rather lengthy, but fairly simple to follow in this version. I hope this information helps, whether it be this week or in future Corpus Christi celebrations. Thank you very much.